This is Press Play Northwest Radio. I'm Bruce Poinsett.
And I'm Donovan Smith.
And you're tuned into the official radio show of Press Play Northwest, your destination for deep dives into Northwest hip-hop's most provocative visuals. And more specifically, we give you music video screenings, facilitated discussions, and exclusive interviews and audience Q&A with local artists. Due to technical difficulties, we were supposed to be back this week live, but we will be back on Zoom on July 22nd with special guest Rashid Jamal. So, stay tuned for more details for that later in the show. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, Rashid is one of my favorite artists, period. So definitely looking forward to that conversation. So continue to be on the lookout for updates from Press Play Northwest, an official email list, and more social media pages. They are on the way. For now, we're going to break into some music. Up next, we've got the new single from Raquel DeBar, Cherry. It's got a dope video that goes along with it as well. And then followed by that, we'll have a new clip from the podcast, the Press Play podcast with myself, Bruce, and Molly Mitchell. Again, you're tuned in to Press Play Northwest Radio. Be back in a sec.
Hey. Janitor. Yeah. Married to the game, me, I'm charried to the flames, sitting back in the back, all black in the lane. Gray tints, militant, kicking with the cane, put a limp in his game when we digging through the crates. Pop off and go, unstoppable, I'm locking low, act like you know, Cortez gang be the cleanest I know. Get it on the low, then leave them on a high note. Puffing on a lie like it's tragic, ain't no average, yeah, that classic. Bring them to the bright side, light in the attic. Nothing but a challenge, go get that package. Woke up on the right side, let's go. I'ma stay winning, homie, tenfold. Really with the gas, that petrol. Signing like a letter though, XO. Slow roast, West Coast, posted up. And if you really with the trees, then split the Dutch. Won't keep my mouth shut, I'm out here to sun. Dominoes player, I'm lining them up. I go, living on 11, that's all I know. I go, living on 11, that's all I know. Oh no, say he wanna play. Said that he a genius, I ain't even felt the brain. Get up on your knees, boy, I'm body in the game. I'm flyer than a pilot, she a king, but ain't the same. Everything icy, going like 90. Clairvoyant though, I'ma see into your psyche. It ain't where you been, no, it's what I seen. Looking at the sky, yeah, we on a tangerine. Fully on a mission with my ride or die. Killer B, don't get it poppin' till we arrive. Shorty with the green bottle, I'ma meet you outside. I show you how to get it, man, we keeps it alive, yeah. What's good? That's the mood. That's the attitude, and they ain't got a clue. What's good? That's the mood. That's the attitude, they ain't got a clue.
About one, just obviously like waves in black hair care culture, but yeah. Someone again, initial thoughts, feelings. I'm gonna look up his name because I actually really do want to get that right. So
I was glad to see Dave be embodying, the access to Hennessy in
this guy.
The revolution will be on the 360 video. And I wish Mac was here for this discussion, just because when we had the live discussion a couple months ago with this video, he had the perfect breakdown of the do-rag importance to the culture. But I love this video and how it celebrates black hair. Like it's just like that is what the whole video is about. Just giving the relationship of like the black woman taking care of Dave's hair, the kids, like feeling empowered through the hair. All of it is, and we were asking the question in the live discussion, like, why would somebody have a long do-rag? What represent? And, you know, just like Mac was saying, it's because I'm black. I'm just black, you know, and that's all it is. It's just a straight up celebration of blackness in every which way. And I remember, you know, we were kids when Eminem was the thing, you know, when he was like the head of all things media and hip hop. Yeah, and he was always wearing a do-rag. Like,
Yeah.
and they like this weird thing of like him trying to fit into black culture, you know, because there's no reason for you to wear do-rag. I mean, people wear do-rags not even because they're trying to get waves. It's just like, it literally is just because, you know, I'm wearing it. Like, so obviously that would have been a whole nother level though if Eminem had tried to figure out like some white waves. I think, oh my God.
Don't bring that into the world. Don't do
I'm glad he's aggressive. I'm glad he's just, you know, he is just a mad white man in his cabin in Detroit that drops like great songs every now and again. Yeah, but no do-rag. No do-rag. It was a good choice.
You just heard Cherry by Raquel Devar and a clip from episode 1 of the Press Play Northwest podcast. This is Press Play Northwest Radio. We want to take a minute to remind you that if you haven't yet signed up for the 2020 census, please do that now. The census determines where vital public resources, i.e. the resources you already pay for with your tax dollars, get distributed, and Black and brown communities are notoriously undercounted. To put things in perspective, every person counted is worth an estimated $3,200 to the Census Bureau. Pledging takes very little time and goes a long way to ensuring your community has what it needs between now and the next census in 2030. You can pledge to take the census by texting Oregon to 33339. Once again, that's Oregon, OREGON, to 33339. And for more information, visit WeCountOregon.com.
We also wanted to give you some Northwest hip hop updates. It's been a busy week. Damian Lillard, aka Dame Dollar, was on the Nardwuar show, and he gave a shout out to Mike Capes, who he said is the best rapper in the city. Which, you know, anytime that you say something, it's fodder for a lot of debates. But Mike is definitely one of the top MCs in the city today. Some names that Nardwuar also dropped in that interview in terms of Portland representatives were Dodger and OG1. So all of the people named deserved the shine they got. So shout out to them.
Salute.
Yes. Also, Blimes and Gab out of Seattle. They just dropped their new video, Shelly's, that you can check out on all your streaming platforms. And also, you know, just in terms of outside, you know, there's still a rebellion at play. And so Hip Hop Stands Up, they had a concert on the 4th of July outside or downtown near the Justice Center and City Hall, and had different people out there performing. Roulette Delgado, Mike Crenshaw, Micah Fletcher, all doing their things amongst other people, just kind of taking a stand in the midst of this moment, using music as the gathering tool. Got shut down a little bit early, though, around 10 o'clock. You know, your Portland Police Bureau showed up, declared the surrounding area unlawful gathering, and people had to kind of shut things down. But yes, stay on the lookout for more events from Hip Hop Stand Up. They did something a couple weeks before too, and it sounds like they're going to keep doing more events using music. So looking forward to more from them. Oh, and next up, we're going to have some more music from you. Up next is 15 Pennies by Seattle Sam LaChow, followed by more of our talk from episode 1 of the Press Play Northwest podcast. You're tuned in to Press Play Northwest Radio. Be back in a bit.
There is a jungle you can stumble into, America, with nothing and make it something, but there is kerosene and matches all around, smoking fire clouds you'll barely see. The light that's
I never had a fortune or a trust fund. Never had a dealer cause I was one. Never changed the fabric I was cut from. Under my rug I was tucking one gun and a bunch of drugs. I got skunked drunk on the 8th of November, thought we were done, son. The night of the election when the Trump won. But never felt a punch I can't get up from. I'm a tough one and I don't judge the ones who never trusted me then. I treated some of my friends like dust in the wind, thinking that I had money to spend, but I'd be stupid and play when I have music to make. Look, you want a piece of the American dream? You better do like the powerful do and barely be seen. Spend 10,000 hours on your hustle degree and make the money disappear like it was nothing to me.
There is a jungle you can stumble into, America, with nothing and make it something, but there is kerosene and matches all around, smoking fire clouds you'll barely see. The light that's meant to guide
Always had a chip about my shoulder, the only one who never had the code word. I had to sneak around to the back door where you were skipping rocks. I moved boulders till my back was sore, but I can make $1 out of 15 pennies. Lost souls I've seen many. Pocket change, it gets heavy like a kettle bell. It feel like confetti, like a kiss, kiss, bang. Nothing personal, it's just a business thing. I was on the train saying bye, bye, buddy. But you were waiting for whatever Christmas brings. You can kiss this ring. Listen, my lady tells me I got hate in my eyes, but I'm just laying low and taking my time. It's never too late, but y'all drink the Kool-Aid. Chasing a lie, but I just stay in disguise. Come on.
There is a jungle you can stumble into, America, with nothing and make it something, but there is kerosene and matches all around, smoking fire clouds you'll barely see. The light that's meant to guide you. There is a jungle you can stumble into, America, with nothing and make it something, but there is kerosene and matches all around, smoking fire clouds you'll barely see. The light that's meant to guide you.
This money, if you want to call it that have come for businesses and culturally specific monies that are coming and things like that. But, you know, the amount of reshifting that's going to happen, like this is like a long-term threat already to the stability of Black Portland, Black Oregon at large, you know. On a lighter sense, you know, of the things, so just like you're talking about being in Lake O, I remember when I went to like OES and stuff, I would do these different things. Like, yeah, I get the little parts in my hair, or I do the designs in my head and stuff, and like how much of a reaction I would get from like the kids at my school, you know, like because I was like one of this many Black folks at the school. So like this was like such a point of conversation for me to be doing something that, you know, I remember the first time I saw my cousin get a part in his head. I was like, I want to get one of those too, you know, and it's just one of those things that it's just been a thing. And them not understanding why and just having so many questions about why I would do something like that. And it's just like, when you do things that are just like culturally about you, how much people, you know, try and prune and prod into like the basics. Like I don't ask white people, or I never had the thought of like asking, hey, why did you swoop your hair like that? You know, like, or why did you, you know, like, it's not like a thing. It's just a thing, you know, you're expressing yourself. But that's why it's so important for us to have, you know, those expressions through your do your hair. Like you can make such a statement, and a statement that doesn't have to be explained. It's just a part of you. And so, yeah.
I feel I didn't do anything particularly adventurous, Like I blew my hair out for a few games, but not, nothing super adventurous. So I do remember, everyone asking, "So what is this FUBU you're wearing?" All the time. Fun times. So
like the beginning of like All Lives Matter, right? Like FUBU.
Oh God.
It's like, for us by us. I mean, but who's us? Why can't it be all of us?
Oh man.
There's a Ricky Lake clip of like this dude being upset about FUBU. He's like, you guys have your FUBU, and I just feel like it's very racist. And shout out to the 90s.
Oh man, but on the bright side now, I don't watch Shark Tank, but I don't know. You got the FUBU director, FUBU founder on like he's like a staple of regular TV. So, times are interesting. I know. This is Press Play Northwest Radio. You just heard 15 Pennies by Sam Lachow, along with a clip from the Press Play Northwest podcast, where we, talking about FUBU and black hair care and the responses to it, in these highly white suburban settings. But I want to take this time for our now weekly segment, the Rebellion Report. Donovan, you got a story that just came out on Street Roofs that I'd love to hear you talk about.
Yeah, just did a story about, there's all these monuments and things that are coming down again. Shout out to the kids at Jeff. And it just reminded me of something that I saw several years ago from a documentary that Sika Stanton and Donnell Alexander did about this canyon that was, because we're on the radio, I'm going to say, was called N-Word Canyon originally. And it was because there was this black guy that actually lived there in the 1800s. And that's what the people called it. But there's actually a ton of these kind of landmarks throughout the state that still have those names. It's been replaced by Negro now, but there's still a lot of them. And there's also a lot of other racist terms that aren't just like anti-black, they're anti-Jew, they're anti-Chinese, just anti-people at large. So the Oregon Geographic Name Board they take in proposals locally, and then they vote on whether to move them up federally for a name change. But they're really dependent on people engaging with them, just like every other entity, for changes to happen. So I would look into the Oregon Geographic Name Board and talk to them before their next meeting in September or October, it is, to talk to them about the changes that need to happen, because otherwise things will just kind of sit.
It's funny that, I'm not sure how many meetings they had to have to, just change the outright N-word to Negro. And, I'm not sure if they needed to vote for that one, but
Right.
I digress. Other news out of Seattle, if you've been paying attention to the show, we've been talking about some of the developments with the CHOP. The Capitol Hill's Occupy protest, organized protest.
Organized protest.
Yeah. And, it was recently disbanded by Mayor Durkin over, allegedly, quote unquote, concerns over violence, except you hear some of the reports and they are conflicting, but people saying that, it's outsiders, sometimes with like alleged, reported white supremacist ties, attacking people and then having this kind of policy of benign neglect where, the police aren't engaging, the medics are waiting on the police who aren't engaging. So, if people do get attacked and need help, they're just being left there. And then you got some people, whether it's rooting on the city or rooting on the police force, who are kind of pointing the finger and saying, ha ha, see what happens. So, we know that game. We know it's disingenuous. It kind of proves the point of why some of this stuff needs to be defunded. And then almost timely and really even more horrible news out of there, 2 people have been supporters of the CHOP and, I shouldn't say of the CHOP, but of protests in Seattle. Summer, I want to make sure I get the name right. So excuse me just a second. Summer Taylor and Diaz Love were run over by motorists, murdered by motorists, and at a protest on the freeway. And that's been another one where we've seen some of the response to it has been, well, you shouldn't have been on the freeway. And that whole just disingenuous, it's really just a horrible response to just like justifying murder. But we just want to rest in peace to Summer Taylor, and I guess get well soon to Diaz Love, because that's awful. It's awful out there.
Yeah. And just one other thing, it's really important to stay engaged with the processes of our city, and this is the reason why. I happen to sit on a committee to get the IFCC Interstate Firehouse Cultural Center back online. Been on that for some years, and it's a Black cultural center, art center, if you're not familiar. It needs a lot of investment. It's under city designation right now, and we're just trying to figure out how to get it back. But in that meeting today, I heard that some of that money that just got defunded from the Portland police may actually be going back. The mayor and our commissioners are considering putting about $7 million back into police overtime with the justification of the protests that they've been out there tear gassing people and during the pandemic, and coming out in military gear and like camo now. And we had to remember that 50 million was the ask, 27 about is what we got, and now we're looking at about 7 million possibly going back into the Portland Police Bureau of that defunding. So it's just important to let your representatives know that this money is something that you want to go back in the community, as promised.
So you see dirty politics out there. We'll keep you posted on more. But that's our show for tonight. Make sure to tune in to the numbers here every week at 5. And, keep your eyes and ears open for all the latest updates from Press Play Northwest. Again, we're going to be back live on Zoom on July 22nd with special guest Rashid Jamal. We'll have more registration info for you at a later date, but you can always follow us at the hashtag PressPlayNW. And gentrification is weird on all social media. But as for tonight, we have one more song for you. This is Steez by D Marks. I'm Bruce Poinsett.
And I'm Donovan Smith. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure to stay tuned for all the latest updates from Press Play Northwest. Because honestly, where else are you going to go?
She only like me for my steez. I got the work all up my sleeves. Tower of Pisa, how I lean. I need my drugs to go to sleep. My name is heavy in the streets. Sometimes I think I'm in too deep. Smoking this dope and counting green. drugs and go to sleep. My name is heavy in the streets. Sometimes I think I'm in too deep. Smoking this dope and counting green. She only like me for my seat. She only like me for my seat. Wordplay buku like Sudoku, I'm back at it. I'm up like a 7-Eleven, chock full of meth addicts. Shocking, I got a WB kid, I feel like static. My twin beauty pageants, I'm more attractive than a magnet. And I've been flexing and finessing. And I'm just busting and ragging. Ooh, I caught overtaking. I'll be too bad, I'm still sagging. Mind you, I'm doing everything I ever imagined. I took a limitless pill in the form of a backflip. Bring some 41 or I'll give you a fat lip. You underestimated me if you think I'm a rapper. To go to sleep. My name is heavy in the street.